And among the huge crowds of people who lined up to see the Queen lying in state were Filipinos who wanted to pay their last respects. What did Queen Elizabeth II mean to our kababayans abroad, especially those at the front lines of the pandemic? We're speaking now with the president of the Philippine Nurses Association U.K, Ollie Soriano, joining us from London. Ollie, thank you so much for joining us. This has been, I'm sure for you, a very emotional day. Also for many residents in the UK as the Queen is laid to rest. As a Filipino professional living and working there for more than 2 decades, what impact did the Queen have on your life?
I think it's the sense of service and duty that she has actually shared among her people in the Filipino community. As we all know, in the 12th of July 2022, NHS actually received the George Cross, which acknowledges and recognizes all the hard work of all the NHS staff across the UK. And it's a sad and solemn feeling that you have this symbol of personified who actually made us united to actually work together. It's her sense of duty, it's her sense of service that made it us more worth it to come here in the UK and to actually work in the NHS.
And how close to the Queen's heart, Ollie, were the doctors, the nurses like yourself, and healthcare workers of the national healthcare system?
I think the closest that it can get is that, like, she's been a patronage to all different NHS services, including the some hospitals near in London, and she has helped and supported us in some of the innovations or initiatives that has come across in the NHS or the National Health Services. She always praised, she always recognized the great work of every individual, regardless of what profession you are, be it a doctor or a nurse or working in the NHS. So she's always been passionate in acknowledging and recognizing all the great help that we give here in the National Health Service in the UK.
She has indeed touched the lives of many people, not only in the UK but around the world, Ollie. But I want you to share with us your experience. Let's talk about the queue. It was a phenomenon, and it was, just watching it on television was amazingly organized. And you had to wait in line for over 12 hours. Share with us that experience, Ollie.
I think working in the NHS is challenging because there's a clinical work that we have to actually go through, but we have to take the time. So on the day of Friday, I was working 9 to 5, and a colleague of mine actually encouraged us to let's go and see whether we can still get into the line. And along the way, we met some of the health support workers who were actually on the queue, and we managed to get into the queue. The good feeling about it is there's a sense of camaraderie, there's a sense of unity amongst everyone who was attending the queue, and patiently waiting to actually see the lying in state event of the Queen at Westminster Hall. When after 4 hours, 6 hours, you always feel that you're getting tired, the weather is getting colder. There's a sense of support from each and every public colleagues who were waiting along the line. We were sharing food, we were sharing stories about their different experiences. Some of the people that we were waiting with are military officers who were talking about their experience meeting with the Queen and meeting up with the royal family. So I think it was a good sense of spirit amongst each other waiting in the queue, but nonetheless, once you get to Westminster Hall, it was the solemnity of feeling. The sadness is there, but the respect is also there. So Ollie, it was a well worth 12 hours.
Yeah, for many people who queued up for 12 to even as much as 24 hours, it was really their desire to say thank you and goodbye to a queen who reigned for 70 years. And when you got into Westminster Hall and when you faced the casket of Queen Elizabeth II, what ran through your veins? What ran through your mind?
You just said it, Rico. I bowed my head and then I just said, thank you for all the great work. Thank you for all the support that you've given us as people in the UK, as a worker, an NHS worker here in the UK. And I just said, like, I'm so glad and so happy that, like, even though I've not had the opportunity to really meet her, there was a sense that, like, she was there to support. She was a mother figure for us all. And, I think it's the great kind of like feeling to say thank you when I got into that position.
And indeed, Ollie, this experience will be one that you will remember for the rest of your life.
Definitely.
Ollie, thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word. Philippine Nurses Association UK President Ollie Soriano joining us from London.